Inside Foos presents FoosTalk live from the DFW Airport Marriott Hotel, the 2022 Texas State Championship, the Players Championship.
Strokes it home back down the middle with a recoil.
Recoil. He's like, we're not going out like that. What's up, SA? We're not going out like that, SA.
No, that's
That's
East
an
LA.
Albuquerque,
El Paso thing. And if they had foosball in East LA, yes. But we've often called Albuquerque very far East LA.
It's FoosTalk live.
You talking to me?
Compelling and lively banter.
Are you going to talk to us?
Talking foosball.
Foosball was how I measured my value as a man. You took that away.
Players and fans, promoters and pros. Unedited and raw.
Talk.
Living in the moment.
We have a lot of important things to talk about.
All while practicing social distancing.
Cool. We'll talk. No big whoop.
Let's get this thing started. FoosTalk live. Welcome to FoosTalk Live, episode 111. I'm Tom Robinson, traveling to Dallas, Texas for the 2022 Texas State Championship Foosball Tournament, brought to you in part by InsideFoos.com, offering monthly subscriptions with access to some of the most exciting matches ever recorded, plus live tournaments, pre- and post-show analysis, interviews, and original programming. Sign up now at InsideFoos.com. Also brought to you by ProtectoFlex, the world's premier foosball safety accessory. Go to protecto-flex.com. Brought to you by Rod Lock. Practice more, reach less. The best practice tool in foosball. Visit rod-lock.com. And brought to you by 518 Prints, one of the best printers of promotional items and foosball apparel. Visit 518prints.com today. Also brought to you by Foosballers, the movie. This Joe Hesslinger foosball documentary is now available as a worldwide download at foosballersthemovie.com. Also brought to you by the USTSO, helping to usher in a new era of competitive foosball. Become a member at usafoosball.com. And brought to you by Foosball Clubs USA, promoting foosball through school systems all over the United States. Visit foosballclubsusa.com and make a donation today. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Hey there, it's Tom Robinson. We are just about to go live to Dallas, Texas, where the very large competition is underway. It's been going on for quite some time, and this weekend is special because this weekend is featuring an open doubles tournament, which is Swiss format. First time for Texas State, and we're going to be joining Jim and Adam and a few others in just a bit. But first, we thought perhaps we could go back a bit and perhaps catch you up on a little bit of action that happened earlier on in the tournament. Let's begin by giving you a great example of the round 3 of open doubles action as Jim Stevens and Mark Torres do commentary on this round 3 tournament event featuring Tony Spredeman and Eric Hueltner as they take on Eric Sanchez and Randy Chavez. Mark will be reading some of the Twitch comments as they are broadcasting not only on Inside Foos at this moment, but they're also doing a Twitch TV channel. So listen into this action from Dallas, Texas. It's the 2022 Texas State Championships.
And on the left, of course, that is Tony Spredeman, Eric Hueltner out of the Tampa, Florida area. I remember, 10, 15 years ago now, Tony introducing me to this good young player out of Wisconsin, out of Milwaukee, when Tony was living up there. And it was Eric Hueltner, who I think won a rookie title or two at that time. And Tony was his mentor, and they were great friends. And, of course, they remain great friends, partners here. They were roommates for a while. These are two great friends on the left side of the table. And I think you say the same about the guys on the right. I know both of Randy Chavez and Eric Sanchez as well. Good players, good guys. It's 2-0 here in the first game. Qualifying round action in open doubles.
I'm I'm sending some chat in just so you guys know. I'm a little distracted to make sure we get some other quality play over here.
Mm-hmm. This is Chavez. Up the table, grabbed by Sanchez. Eric, a good pull shooter, but also with an excellent snake shot, will go up against Hueltner. It's blocked, and then it kind of squibs to Tony's 5. Tony Spredeman, of course, has played quite a bit of Swiss system foosball at international events. World Cup, of course, World Championship, both this format. Tony also, of course, won the Leonhard World Championship a few years ago in open singles.
Which is a momentous achievement, by the way. to win
Incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
back in here.
And again, a shout out to all my friends watching around the world. At some point, we'll get back to Europe, folks. Tony fires that one home far side. He sat, waited, and then drilled it to that far corner.
So we're going to have to ask Tony. Since this is Tony's third match, and I want to get his opinion. Like, he's going to be 3-0. Well, let's not get too ahead of it. If he goes up 3-0,
yeah,
we want to talk to him about how this format does it serve him. Because you get a mix. Some of the masters actually want to play less foosball. Some of the masters want to play as few matches as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know where Tony is on that continuum. Tony is a different animal, different breed. He may be all for anything. Probably would be all for anything. But it'd be interesting to see if, being up 3-0, knowing he still has to play 2 more matches, how he feels about that. It'd be good to hear.
Yeah. And at World Championship events, at the multi-table World Championship, if you were rated, I believe it's top 4 in the final rankings for the season, you get a bye. You don't have to play qualifying.
That's pretty cool.
Now, there's pluses and minuses to that, of course. You don't get that warm-up. You don't get to get out there and knock it around for a few hours in preparation for that elimination bracket. But you also get some time off. You get to take some time, rest the body, just make sure you train. And the top players have their regimens. They have their routines that they go through every day.
Captain Blood's been really good for giving us background information on what's happening. Top 5 seeds still remain undefeated, which that's pretty good. It's serviceable to what the spirit of this format is. The best team should be rising to the top. It should all play out that the best teams are rising to the top.
That's how it works. That's correct. And for those of you who don't know, after the first round, everything is sort of reshuffled based on results. Undefeateds play undefeateds. 0-1s play 0-1s as much as possible.
Passes so blindingly fast, it's ridiculous. It's unconscious.
Even when you're looking for it, he still generally gets it through.
Yeah,
looking for a 4-0 lead here in the first game. Tony Spredeman strokes it to that near side. I just wanted to open up, get the mouth warmed up and say that. I'm going to say it a lot today.
Will you turn to your right and lick when you say it?
I can do that.
Will you do that? I want
Absolutely,
you to, please.
100%.
Eric's tough. Always trying to improve and add wrinkles to passing and shooting. Are you talking about Eric? It's Eric with the case. I'm assuming you're talking about Eric Hueltner. Eric has a very cool high setup pull side series where he passes to the high lane, shoots a pull shot around it, and has other passing around it, and it's perplexing because it's in that gray area of his own defense.
Yep. And he makes a good point too that really if you're playing goalie for Tony Spredeman, it's nice once in a while when needed to be aggressive offensively and try to score the ball. But for the most part, you want to get Tony extra possessions. He already gets more than everybody else, but if you get more to his 5, more to his 3, it's even more of a guarantee that you're going to come out on top.
So this team on the right is a solid pro team that they probably could win the local stuff here with frequency or always competitive with the top teams here. And you'll got to look to see if they can rise to the occasion because they're probably playing. These are the last year's champions. Yeah. Tony and Eric won last year. So it's you get these. You see the levels of play here, like the dimensions of skill and execution.
Yeah, it would be, I guess, kind of like in comparing it to other sports. I don't know that you get. This, like you said, a really good pro team, but because of Tony Spredeman and because of this team on the left, the defending champions, as you said, there is a fair amount of separation between these two teams.
Well, and look at Eric. Like you got to call him one of the top goalies in the country right now. You got Robert Maras, Ryan Moore, if he wants to play goalie. You got T-Mac. If he's like
maybe
engaged.
throw Terry Rue in there as well when he's back there.
But then you start looking at Eric.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely, and it's what he can do on both sides of the ball. Statistically, if Clay was here, Clay's in Europe, I think.
Yeah, Sweden.
But if Clay was here, he'd tell you his clearing percentage is really good. He's a guy that contributes. Like Dennis Rodman. You brought him up yesterday. Now, I'm not going to compare Eric Hueltner to Dennis Rodman. Very different personalities for sure. But they do things that contribute to winning. On the scoreboard, maybe you don't see 2 or 3 goals per game, but clearing percentage is going to be good. They give their as he lets that one go in, they give their partner extra possessions. They block the slop. They clear the zone. They do all of those kinds of things quietly, and certainly in the case of Eric Hueltner.
So Gummy says when Eric sets up the ball, sets up the pool, in my opinion, it's the best setup location to clear. Yeah, it's tricky. we were watching it, you're like, he can do 4 things from this location. I can't be on all 4 things.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. Yes, we have.
Great to get his perspective, isn't it? One of the great players of all time. And
we brought up his great Open Singles World Championship win. And, I mean, that was a thing of beauty. I was basically saying what Ryan did against Tony, Dave did that for 6 rounds or whatever it was.
That might make an interesting top 5, like the best one-day performances. Because Dave, that day, and it was maybe a day and a half, 2 days, whatever. But he was the best player in the world that day, that next day. When he won that, he was ridiculously good for that day. And he, of course, had a great career and all that. But for that day, he was absolutely, in that event, he was spectacular. And Tony and Eric come out on top in this opening game. And I know Gummy has played quite a bit of Swiss system himself, and I know he's undoubtedly a fan of it.
Yes, the 3 wall, you got to pass on the 3rd possession. The 3rd wall bounce got to pass on the 5 bar. Unlimited bounces on the 2 bar. Right next to the outside white line. Yeah, we'll get a chance at some point to see Eric where he sets the ball up. If he does it, and he could pick you apart with a high lane pass. It's just basically a straight pass. Yeah. But it leaves your zone in an odd spot because there's too many things he can do from that location. And he's got a deadly long pull shot he can shoot from there. So you got banks, a lane pass, pull kick pass, the passes over the middle. It's really tough. It's zone breaker for sure.
And you can't block all of them. No. You can't. It's just a matter of picking out the right one at the right time and defending it. You have to commit to something, and then it's going to work 1 out of 4 times, perhaps. But you brought up something about the bouncing off the wall. And at this stage of the game, is that really a rule that needs to stay in place on the 5-row? Do we really need to limit the number of times they bounce it off? Now, maybe you can't hit it with the same man like on the P4P tour. You could hit it off.
So you're talking about the 5 bar?
On the 5 bar.
Should we limit the bounces?
No, it's limited now.
Yeah. Are you saying should
we not limit the bounces?
Do you end up with the same thing you got right now on the 2 to the 5? It's one thing if it's just annoying.
You can't hit it with the same man though. That's the rule.
I get it.
That's the rule on P4P, and I always kind of liked it. That you could bounce it off the wall as much as you wanted, but I think the rule was you couldn't hit it with that same man that you're bouncing off the wall with.
I see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about that.
Well, why do they have it? Why at this stage of the game is it in existence? I'm not sure.
I'm a big fan of the Genesis. Where did the rule come from?
That's
Who can answer? Dave, can you tell us why? Or Bob Maloney? Bob Maloney's in the chat too.
Hey, Bob.
Can you tell us why there's a 3 bounce rule on the 5 bar on Tornado?
All right, let's see. 1-1 here in game number 2. Sanchez able to pass that one. Oh, look at that good hard pass along the outside wall by Hueltner. That is Chavez now playing the forward position on the right. This is Eric Sanchez.
Shout out to Bob Barnett. How's it going, man? And we got Mike Eno in chat. If you guys want to help us out, just follow us on Twitch. I don't think there's a cost to it. I think you just hit the follow button, right? If you want to donate $5, it all goes towards the kids. And when I say kids, I mean Jim's drinking. No, just kidding. Jim doesn't drink. Jim's IPA.
I don't drink anymore.
Today, it's breakfast.
I don't drink any less. So 1-1. This is Chavez in the forward position. It's Rick Eno, I think is who you meant as well.
No, I think it's Mike Eno.
Was it a different Mike? Different Eno?
Mike Dino Fooser. Mike Dino Fooser. My vision's going bad. It's called presbyopia.
Sure it's not Dino.
It's accommodating.
Dino.
Maybe it's Mike Dino. Mike Dino? Mike Dino Fooser.
Whoa, it's freaking out. Look at this. Nice.
We're trying to do some new crazy visual stuff.
The blacktop.
Actually, we hit a button, and we're going to press another button in a second. But if you like this look,
let us know.
Let us know.
Can we go do a blue top as well, just like the old days?
If any of you feel like you're having an acid flashback, we respect that.
How can you not?
I went away.
2-1 lead here in the second game for Randy Chavez and Eric Sanchez.
Sancho, the pool guy. You heard that?
And I have an affinity for players from El Paso and from Albuquerque, where I live in Durango, Colorado. While we are a little bit of a ways from El Paso, I still kind of
why is that?
Count them in as kind of my neck of the woods. And I've got to know those guys over the years. And when they used to have tournaments up in Albuquerque, they would come up, we would come down. Really like the guys. Really strong
from Durango.
We come Durango to Albuquerque. It's only like 3 hours.
Okay.
And they would drive 3 hours from El Paso. We're about 6 hours from El Paso driving.
Oh, cool.
Corey Jensen also here this weekend. Outstanding player out of El Paso.
Like
2-2,
Tony's
second game.
5-2 pass, it was pretty much unstoppable.
And who's that from?
Dino Boozer.
And
Yes, I thought so. Dinosaur.
Dinosaur Fooser. Does that mean you're old? And who are you, Rick? What's the name again? Mike.
Mike Dino Boozer.
All right.
Okay, Dave Gummison makes it ridiculously easy to get the ball with unlimited walls. If you changed it to legal, except you can't use the same man that would make a bounce off the wall illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have 7 bounces, but they have to be it can't be the same man.
And then there were issues, of course, a few years ago, as Chavez will set this one up. Trying to go to that long hole. Hueltner out there waiting for him. But then there was an issue on the tornado tables where it was difficult to get that ball off the wall. And
they changed the rule.
They kind of said, I don't think they didn't formally change it.
No, it's just if it's trapped, they give you 100 opportunities to untrap the ball. But I think the time limits are still running.
Yeah.
You can't.
But when's the last time you saw a 3-wall call?
I know. It's interesting. Usually it's a self call, too. It's like, I hit the wall 3 times.
Tony able to convert here to make it 3-2. Eric Sanchez.
Mike Jensen, you're here, man. You in your room?
Randy Chavez. This is Chavez at forward. Randy. Strokes it home back down the middle with a recoil.
Yeah. He's like, we're not going out like that. What's up, SA? We're not going out like that, SA.
No, that's that
is
an
LA.
Albuquerque, El Paso thing. And if they had foosball in East LA, yes. But we've often called Albuquerque very far East LA.
We're not going out like that, SA. That was a gang sign I just made up. I wonder if
I'm not sure about that. You shouldn't do that in front of the kids.
Full kick.
3-3. Tony try to come near side, blocked by Sanchez. Up into the air and off the table.
We could do over-unders. We could figure out how to do over-unders and how many full kicks will Tony Spredeman do. What's the over-under on 2?
Yeah.
We could do that on air.
Ooh, 2 per match?
Yeah.
That's a good number.
It's a really tough to bet on that one, right? What'd you bet? What would the bet be on an over-under Tony pull kicks? 2.5. 2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
But he's got to kick 3. But 2, you could break even at 2.
We can't tell him, though. All
right, let me tell you something that's been going on table number 2.
3-3 here in the second game.
They put Brandon Munoz and Kevin Romero on table number 2.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, Jim, the first 2 matches were over in a combined 3 minutes. They've been destroying teams. I don't think they lost a game. I think that barely anyone scored points on them. You got a freight train on table number 2, just destroying people. But you'd expect those 2 is all offense. It's like just the ball keeps going and you're
– and hand speed. Yeah. I mean, they're going to get away. They're good defensively just because they're fast, right? And Munoz back there, holy cow.
Yeah.
And what a weapon to be able to bring out of the bullpen, so to speak,
well,
right?
Brandon played the first match they played, this is not a joke. You can watch on the tape. I said they started the match, and then 90 seconds later I looked over and said, I don't think they started yet. And Brandon said, we just won the first game. And it was over. And then they won the next game 5-0, which was – probably slower than they won the first game.
That is an exciting team. Yeah, when I looked over and saw that, I got kind of a thrill.
Yeah, they're dressed in black. Well, Kevin Romero's got a black headband on. That team's going to be fun to watch, man. Fun to watch.
What's the over/under on them? Are they top 3 here this weekend?
They're undefeated right now. I mean, the 3-0
in the final standings after the elimination bracket. Are they reaching the semis?
I think so.
I think so too. Yeah. Randy Chavez.
T-Mac and Trevor 3-0. We got some good stuff happening. T-Mac and Trevor 3-0.
Chance to take the lead here for Randy Chavez, who barely holds on to the ball.
Going to try to shoot something fast.
Nope, going to call a timeout. It's a good call, realizing the importance of this particular ball.
Yeah. See, I'm the rookie because I probably would have shot an open-handed reverse push kick.
Yeah. And you would not have scored it.
No, I would. No, I would have flopped it in.
Not a chance.
Fine.
You would have. It could have.
I would not have scored it.
No.
Fine.
You might have if it slopped in. I'll give you that.
Terry Rue and Tom Yor 3-0. The cream is rising. The cream is rising. Who are the other undefeated teams that you'd expect to be undefeated?
There's Randy Chavez setting it up, shooting against Eric Hueltner.
Dave likes T-Mac and Trevor to get to third or better.
Stroking it home here to that near side. It's Chavez. It's 4-3. It's Dave Gummison. What is he going to say? It's Tracy McMillan. Come on. But I don't disagree, though, especially the way Trevor has been playing over the last year, and Tracy McMillan is Tracy McMillan. So, no question. But I think there's more than 4 teams that you could say are reaching that semifinal.
McGregor and Moore 3-0. Hey, can someone take a quick look and see where Ethan Nguyen and Mike Green are sitting in the standings.
Or even at 4, it's match point here for Tony Spredeman and Eric Hueltner.
Oh, fighting for it, Tony.
One of the great big game players, big ball players in the history of the sport. Tony Spredeman almost had that one blocked back in by Chavez. Up the table and a hustling grab by Spredeman.
The X Factor, man.
He is to go 3-0. Tony Spredeman. Strokes it home near side. A nice second game performance from Eric Sanchez and Randy Chavez, but it's once again Tony Spredeman and Eric Hueltner, as they are now 3-0, dropping to 2-1. Chavez and Sanchez. So
the cream is rising. The fires are burning.
You know what's fun about these qualifying round matches too, from a commentary perspective, is yes, we're focusing in on the matches and giving you the scores and all of that insights, but also kind of it opens it up for us to kind of have a forum, because it's qualifying.
Yeah.
While it is important, it's still, we don't necessarily have to be so specific with our commentary. We can chat about the pluses and minuses of the switch system, rule changes, interact with the people out there, and do lots of other things as well.
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
And again, if you haven't played the switch system, at the end of the qualification round, there'll be a little bit of time before the elimination round starts. People can go grab some lunch, kind of get out of here for a few minutes if they want to, regroup, prepare for the elimination round. And there are different ways of doing it. Oftentimes you'll take the top upper crust in the A bracket, B bracket, C, and D, whether it's 8 per, whatever the number is. And then you can kind of look at it as the open, pro, expert, amateur, whatever. And it's kind of a neat way of giving people, lots and lots of matches to play.
Yeah, so. No, who the winners are here, or who the winners should be, the rookies, amateurs, experts. So we watched the beginner team get blown out. It was the winner who beginner singles, Jesse Zamudio. Yeah. Get blown out by Tony and Eric Hueltner, and then they're hugging and like thank you for the great match and really excited to have played a pit match. Okay, and then they know if they lose their next match, they're not out.
Yeah,
they got 4 more to go.
Jim Stevens and Mark Torres in Dallas, Texas, for the Texas State Championships, the Players' Championship. A little excerpt there as we can bring this to you on FoosTalk Live of the doubles, the open doubles, which is Swiss format. That was the third round example with Eric Hueltner and Tony Spredeman in the third round, taking on Eric Sanchez and Randy Chavez. And wow, what an interesting thing. Even though they lost, that would be Eric and Randy, they were able to move on to the next game because they still had more to play. 5 rounds, which is fantastic. Well, that's what's happening right now in Dallas, Texas. And we have someone there on the ground who's going to give us a ground's eye view. Adam, are you with us?
I've got a ground's eye view, but I'm in my room here on the 11th floor.
So how goes it in Dallas? What's happening?
This is a major, Tom. Make no mistake.
Yes.
It's my first one ever. I believe you went to this last year, right?
Right, exactly. No, well, I got to say, I'm more than jealous that you guys are there.
Yeah, and I'm more than sad that you're not here. Your presence always makes these things better.
Well, thanks for saying that. And next year, of course, that's all I can say. Yep. Next year. But I got to ask you the question first off. How are people feeling about this Swiss system for the open doubles?
And so far, all the feedback I've been getting has been great.
Really,
it's been very, very good. Yeah, I think that, and I talked about this before. At Thunderdome. I was talking to you at Thunderdome in the same situation on a Sunday night, right?
Right.
Things had just finished, actually.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you and saying, hey, there was this moment where everybody just got their match called and just went to their table, and the entire place was empty except for the tables, which is something you don't often see. There's people milling about, there's everything like that, but
right.
Everybody was there at one of the different tables, going through their qualifier. And then as the matches would finish, people would start milling about and doing their own thing. And then 10, 15 minutes later, boom, they were back at the table.
Cool.
And yeah, and I think that the biggest feedback that I'm getting from this is that there is no out and two in this event.
Yes.
So even though you get pounded by maybe Kevin Romero or Brandon Munoz, who, by the way, I didn't realize this, are playing together for the first time this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, probably at a tournament, like a large tournament.
Oh, at a major.
I'm sure they played together before. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
And maybe even, I don't know, that because I just watched them play one heck of a match against. Oh my goodness gracious, that was the last match that I just was part of. They played Teddy Kruger and I'm going to remember his name in a moment. And they gave him a great match. It was a great match, right?
Huh. That's great.
And yeah, no, it's really good. You just love to see it. It's just good stuff. It's going to bother me. Garrett Hoffman.
Yeah, Garrett Hoffman.
2 players out of Wisconsin.
Right, and Garrett, by the way, came in second place in beginners singles, so he's classified a beginner.
Well, he's classified really good, and that speaks to the other thing. And I want to get back to it. I want to say one other thing about the Swiss, but we just watched the beginner singles final of Nathan Ham versus Evan McGregor, and that wasn't no beginner singles final.
I think actually that was amateur singles.
Amateur, yeah, okay. That wasn't even any amateur singles final.
Yeah.
That was as good as any pro singles final as you're going to see. The precision, the ability, the composure. It was just so amazing. How advanced the younger generations are, and how foosball is advancing in general.
Right. Well, Evan, I mean, as you know, was a big winner down in Florida for the Thunderdome.
Right.
He and Mike Green walked away with the whole thing and made quite a name for himself. Plus, he earned a whole bunch of free packages to other tournaments. I believe Texas is one of them.
Yes.
And so he's making another show.
Right. And so to go back to that though, so let's just talk about the big show, which is open doubles, of course. And so you still have, and people that might be following on modernfoosball.com, they probably saw that there was after the qualifiers, there's the knockout round.
Yes.
And there has been 4 brackets, and you don't see the 4 top seeds on there from the qualifiers. That's Terry Rue, Tom Yor, that's Ryan Moore and Evan McGregor playing together, and that was the 2 other teams are, and it's I believe it was Tommy at no. Oh, I had written this down, Tom.
Well,
there's just so much foosball in one weekend. But anyways, the point is that those players that aren't there, the players that are going through the knockouts now are playing to play in the final 8 against those top 4 seeds.
That's pretty exciting. I mean, think about, and now once they make it to that knockout round, they're with a partner permanently during that part of the tournament, correct?
Yeah, no, they've been through this is not, so they have this, it's a bring, so it's just the same partner the entire time.
Right. Okay, got it.
So
yeah, I know that our own Sam DeJean with Mark Krause is sitting in one of those final brackets, in fact.
Yeah, I believe you guys should qualify to play in the final 8.
Right.
If I'm looking at this correctly.
Yep, he has indeed.
So what's left, the last match to be decided would be, let's see, hold on. I want to look at this correctly here. I'm looking at the final group. The final group, you have Romero, Munoz, DeJean, Krause, Joe Rhodes, Shan Coffey, and I believe it's going to be whoever wins between no, that can't be right. So this is the first time the modern foosball software has been used by like this.
Right.
And
looks different.
And so I know that there's still and it could be user error on my part, Tom.
This could be just one half of the 8-team bracket, correct? So you've got
that's true
4 teams going against one another in this one bracket, and then the other bracket, of course, would be made up of the other 4 teams. So we don't know who those are yet at this stage. So that's
but overall, to see this kind of thing at a major, it's baby steps and everybody's learning. But I think the overall impression so far is that this has been a good, fun experience, and there's been no out and 2.
Right, which is so cool.
And it is, and it's cool for a bunch of reasons. And the 2 biggest ones are you spend all that time and energy and money specifically to get to a tournament like this, and you're out in 2.
Oh,
that's not fun. But also that was for a very long time just how we were told it was. That's just the way it was. Like from 98 to 2002 or 3 for me, I was getting that was just what it was. You just were out and two. And the more you play, eventually the better you get, even though it's a slow road, right? But if you can compact that down concentrate it, get more people playing more often at these events,
Oh,
you're just going to have a better player base, right?
no question. More fun, more action, more foosball. Who could argue with that?
Nobody, I hope.
Yeah, right. Now, I've heard a couple of comments along the way. Some of the pros don't, or the pro masters don't like playing that much foosball because they want to save themselves, for the big finals. But you know what? Come on, guys. Let's get out of the cart and walk to the hole, for God's sake.
Right. I mean, I think there's a lot of discussion about that. That's fair, but I think a lot of it is. I don't know. I think we have to talk about what's best for foosball as a whole.
Oh yeah.
And I think that something like this is probably best for foosball as a whole.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, especially because as you may have heard in the end of the commentary we just played with Mark Torres and Jim Stevens.
Yeah.
They're mentioning how in the early round, in the open doubles, the beginners team, Jesse Samudio and Garrett Hoffman got a chance to play against Tony Spredeman and his partner Eric. So at the end, they were all hugs, man. It's like, thank you so much for that experience. I love doing that. And
right.
It's of course they didn't win, but they still got a chance to play against the two of the biggest names on the in the tournament. So that to me is worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And so we talked about those two events, but there was a lot of foosball going on this weekend.
Right.
At this event. You still have pro doubles working its way out. You can already see playing for third or better is Coley and Stahl versus Jason Wicks and Mark Krause. Great team. And you still have people floating around there in the loser side. What I like seeing, there's Sam DeJean and Sullivan Rue still battling it out.
Right. Double threat.
They're going to be playing Californians, Mo Uden and Hani Najjar.
Okay.
So,
and how do you just give me your speculation on that? Of course, I'm West Coast. You're West Coast. I'm East Coast. And of course, I'm rooting for Sam. Who are you rooting for in that?
I'm rooting for a good match.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mo knows why, because I hate him. But no, Mo Uden is somebody I've known for a very long time. But I mean, that's a big hill to climb for them against DeJean and Rue. But Mo is somebody that's been playing a long time and he's smart.
Okay.
Najjar as well. So I just want I root for the fans, I guess, and for us as viewers.
Oh sure. Oh no question. Now, how many of these do you think will resolve this evening, or will continue to play tomorrow?
That's a heck of a question because so at 8:00 tonight was supposed to be the Texas Legends ceremony that where they induct a singular person into the Legends category here. Of course, that's a great event. Always see that with. I've never seen it personally. I've always just seen it, online. But
right.
Jim Stevens, of course, will be emceeing that, and of course, the great Steve Murray is going to be apparently on the side crying, shedding a tear, as Jim says. Yeah, which is great. He's a passionate man that cares about foosball, and you can see that seed that he planted back in the '90s with Jim's help and everybody's help, with the crew's help, has turned into one of the great events, iconic majors in the United States foosball. So all that is to say that we had that planned, or they had that planned at 8. I think it's moving a little bit later, maybe almost towards 9 local time.
Okay, got it.
So how many of these events are going to finish up tonight? I don't know, but I think the thing to keep in mind is that I think there's that buffer for tomorrow. There's only 2 events tomorrow that start.
Right.
There's a Pro-Am and a mixed 4-on-4. That's in the afternoon. So, I think that they're going to be probably playing a lot of this stuff through a reasonable hour tonight and then finish it off tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's, I know that last year in Texas, we were there for the full day on Monday, and, things were being torn down about midday, give or take, as things were slowing down. But of course, who knows? It could go on for a bit. And
it could, yeah.
Yeah. No question.
So the last thing that I heard was that they wanted to get open doubles done tonight.
Okay.
Looking at open singles, so Spredeman won the king seat against Brandon, and fourth is Yor and Rick Dell are going to be playing each other, and the winner of that plays Brandon. So that's looking pretty good, right?
Yeah. And Rick Dell's having a really good weekend so far, it looks like.
Right.
Good for him.
Right.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Pro singles, of course, hasn't really been just started a little bit ago, so that's still moving. So yeah, there's going to be a lot, but I think the benefit of how they've been moving open doubles along is that a lot of those players are almost going to be done, if not done already, that are in the pro brackets. So the conflicts are going to start really not being as difficult as it is,
Right.
or usually.
Yeah, no, it's really got to say, to speculate. Of course, at this point, it's not as difficult as you might think, but who knows what could happen? And of course, with all these other events still finishing up, I mean, so far we've got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 results as far as the finals have already been played for beginners singles, with Jesse Samudio taking out Garrett Hoffman. Amateur singles, Nathan Ham beat Evan McGregor. 63 and over doubles, Danny Lynch and Mike Hernandez took that one. Women's senior doubles, Gina Murray and Stephanie Justice. Gina keeping the family there in Texas, and they took out the second place one. Also, junior doubles, Shayla Luaris and Nathan Ham. There's Nathan's name again. He won amateur singles and also junior doubles. So there's a young player who's promising, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have to say this one thing. I noticed that during this weekend with Twitch TV, there's an added element to the commentary that you guys have been doing. First of all, I got to ask you, how do you feel about that added element of Twitch TV?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love interacting with people. I love them getting to interact with each other.
Right.
I mean, what do we do, Tom? Like, we hang out on Sunday nights here, as much to talk about foosball as much as we are to just hang out and chat.
Sure.
Be with your buddies, right? And I think that you get that. So much of us, I think, tune in, obviously, myself included, when I'm not here, to the Inside Foos stream to watch the tournaments and see what's going on and learn and get better, blah, blah, blah. But also the added element when we are here is we're all talking and hanging out when we're not playing, right? And you get that with Twitch. And I love it. I love it.
Get the behind the scenes kind of vibe going on there, which is really cool.
Right.
By the way, we should probably mention that here on FoosTalk Live, we did get beyond our 50 followers. So as promised, we will be going on Twitch TV as well. I believe next weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we should all be back together again.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be there.
Cool.
I am looking forward to it, Tom.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to put a bow on it with Twitch, I think that what that does is really speak to going forward how community building works in things, especially in something that is really kind of a niche market for foosball, right?
Sure. Oh, no question.
To be able to connect again and chat and talk, I just love it. It's the Inside Foos production team and everybody continue to sharpen their game and do all those great things that they do. And I got to tell you, I think actually the producer does a great job, and with a whole lot of help from Jason Wicks, who's been so gracious and kind and helpful, because he does his own. He formerly Bearded Wonder, and now he's doing that great new thing that he has, and I cannot remember the name. Tom, do you remember the name?
I don't offhand, but Jason Wicks nonetheless is brilliant. He's a really good talent, and it's great to have him just helping out and being there. Of course, Texas is his home turf, of course, and
Foosball Sports Network.
Oh yeah, there you go, Foosball Sports Network. Yeah, that makes sense.
And they've been two great Twitch streams all weekend as well from
right. Wow. Yeah, no, that's exciting. So much all of a sudden media surrounding this business of foosball. The sport of foosball is long deserved this kind of attention, and I can see it's just going to get better as we go through.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. It's only I think the one thing that I've noticed across the board is that it just keeps getting better, not by leaps and bounds, but nor should it. But you can definitely I feel it as I've been just on board for the last year and a half or so.
Sure.
So yeah, no, this has been great fun.
Yeah. So one of the things I did want to mention, of course, during the Twitch feed, there's a lot of questions that people are tossing out there about rules, etc. And I just love that. I love the fact that people are like, well, why is it you can't bounce the ball against the wall more than 3 times on the 5 rod? And why is it you can't do this kind of maneuver or that kind of maneuver. And it's great because it's an instant feedback. And of course, you can talk about it in between plays. And I think it's just such an added bonus to what we do because, well, people are so curious about how to play this game better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's one of the greatest part is this interaction leads to growth.
Yeah.
And growth in foosball is just, I think, one of our number one priorities, right?
No doubt about it. No doubt. It's well, it's good to be here and good to be alive at this moment when it comes to foosball.
Absolutely.
So, how about yourself? What I know that you were not planning on playing this weekend. Have you been tempted?
You know what, I was I have played some pickup games, and it wasn't pleasant because I could feel myself now, like my arm hurts in ways that don't normally hurt. I know it's because when I sprained my ankle last Saturday, I've been
Oh man.
yeah, I've been overcorrecting, and that makes everything else hurt, and I can't pivot, I can't shoot. I mean, it's just not. It hasn't been fun. Like even pickup matches aren't even that fun. So,
Right. Understood.
so that's when I saw that, I was like, I much rather be commentating on matches and just kind of
Yeah.
helping with that than just wasting my time and somebody else's not being able to give a good match on the table.
Are you keeping your foot elevated, by the way?
No, that's the problem, and that's why it hurts so much. I mean, I'm walking more than I would have been if I was just at home, obviously, but more so than that, sitting there for hours at a time. There's no room in the booth to keep your leg raised. So.
Oh no! Get out of the way! Get out of the way here. Adam needs to extend his leg.
Yeah. Seriously,
me.
Yeah. Now move that microphone, darn it.
Now, last year, Texas State, the broadcast booth was amazing. They had this really beautiful rig. Are they doing the same thing this year?
No, not exactly. And I think that's just because the room, it's a different hotel.
Right.
Than last year, from what I understand. So I believe that the layout of the room is different. And so they had to adjust as necessary. But, we've been up there sharing space with Jason Wicks, and I think that it's been fine. But it definitely, I don't think, but I will tell you one thing, though. They built this amazing, gosh, I don't even know what do you call it. It's just this big, huge metal bars that go around over both sides of the pit area that have the lighting, that have, all this great stuff hanging from it that just makes it just feel like a great staged event.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really awesome.
Well, Steve Murray does not mess around. I mean, he does it right.
No, he does not. Does he?
Did he provide you with a special IPA this weekend? I was wondering about that.
You know what he did, and Jim has them, and I had one. Oh my gosh! And I actually just had one.
Is it a Dad Gum IPA by any chance?
No, you know what? Hold on. I know it. I remember it now. Okay, yeah. So it's Armadillo Ale Works Land Yacht IPA was one of them.
Land Yacht. Oh,
yeah.
I'm jealous.
It was really good. Very, very citrusy. It was a juicy, aromatic IPA, and it was very tasty. And
nice.
there was another one that I hadn't had one yet, so I don't remember. I don't know what it was called. So we've got that sitting there in reserve.
Yeah, that tends to be the case there. I remember last year, I think we were in our second day, there was probably at least a case and a half of IPAs just kind of waiting, because everybody was so busy. We did take some time to get around to, but in the evening, it did disappear ultimately. But
right.
Yeah, it seemed like there's a lot of donations made to the cause.
Yeah, no, and that's I to all you out there that listen, I can guarantee you we appreciate that more than just the cost of the beer. It is just lovely to be thought of.
Oh yeah. Now, of course, we'd be remiss to say that we're getting very close to the big moment, the World Cup, which is coming up in France. I know there's been not as big a response or as many of our normal players heading to the U.S. Any news on that front?
Yeah, so I know the ones that are going for sure for the men's team, because the women's team that's been posted, you've seen on Facebook, and the junior team that's been posted on Facebook is pretty much a done deal. But I believe what has shifted now, the people that I do know are going, the 5, and I think it's 8 that they need to field a team. Maybe it's 9.
Okay.
But I know that there's 5 for sure that are going, and that's going to be Spredeman, Lafredo, and Terry Rue.
Okay.
And Castillo and Argonis.
Got it.
So those are the
Okay.
5. But in talking to Tony a little bit about that this weekend, he was fired up. He says, um, I don't remember the exact words because it wasn't. He just said, what, it doesn't matter who he's got going with him. Like, let's just get this done, right?
Right.
And you think about the top 3. I mean, you've got Lafredo, you've got Rue, and you've got Spredeman. That's a very top heavy 3,
Sure.
right?
Absolutely.
And then the other, I mean, maybe there is, but even that, which is maybe it's definitely lighter than normal. Even that is still one heck of a front loaded team, and you cannot count out Argonis and and Castillo, who beyond anything else, beyond their own natural ability, could count for a team of 40 with their
Sure.
enthusiasm and joy for being there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's got to be.
And there's a lot to be
thrill.
said about that.
Oh yeah, such a thrill for those guys. I was wondering about the junior players, the under 18. Do you know anything about that team?
No, not specifically. I mean, I know who's been announced. I know it's Sammy DeJohn, Logan Hearn. We're going to be probably anchoring that. Ethan Wynn's going to be part of the anchor there, and the other names that I cannot quite think of. I'm hoping that Nathan Ham is there after seeing him play tonight. My goodness,
yeah,
what a player!
He's got his name up on the board twice already. So that's great.
And so I think so this is the other thing too, and this is what I like about it. As we get closer, we are going to start talking about it more on here and really just putting stories to names so that know what it is. People can know what it is that's going on.
We're going to have to get the coaches on, and of course talk to the coaches, and we'll hopefully get several players on to talk about what they're anticipating coming up in the end of June, beginning of July. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, that's going to be great.
Very cool. So when it comes to Texas State, I mean, you're there for the first time. Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. This is iconic. This is something to be a part of. This is just one of those things. And I'll tell you one thing. There's this moment around, let's see. So the doors opened Friday at 4 p.m. on the dot. And I was hanging out. So I got in Thursday, right?
Yep.
And I was just milling about, just doing my thing, just kind of waiting around. Friday early afternoon, and there's 8 tables in the foyer area outside, right? And as the people are out there practicing and playing, and there was maybe 1 or 2 or 3 Friday morning, and then there was 5 or 7 or 10 by around 1. Then around 3, there was probably about 20, 30, and then around 3:45, the atrium, the little area there was just filled with people.
Yeah.
And the second 4 o'clock hits, boom, the doors open. People are chattering. They're going in. They're getting ready. They're warming up. And it was a spectacle. It was something that I know Steve Murray.
Yeah.
He designs that specifically for the players to feel like this is them for deal. Them, and they're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is. And I think it is. I think it's felt. I think it's great.
So, any ideas to the numbers this weekend? How many players all told?
I don't know. Actually, I could look real quick here.
I know it was upwards of 500 last year, although I had a feeling that because last year was sort of like the big breakout because of COVID, everybody came out all at once. Just wondering what it might be like this weekend.
Yeah, it was well. So I mean, and I don't know how accurate the modern foosball, because I don't know what the final tally is going to be. I see 346 registered players on the modern foosball page.
Gotcha.
But who's to know how many more that actually is as the weekend progresses and you get the final tally.
Correct. Very nice. Well, that's a real good number. No question about it. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Good. I mean, that's a really good number.
Yeah, it's a major. There's no question about that. Texas State.
Oh, yeah.
It is right up there with all the rest. And the only ones that would surpass that necessarily would maybe be Tornado Championship and Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say that's pretty fair. And you're just looking at the numbers here, but if you scroll down the player list, and you can see it's not just Texas. It's California, it's Minnesota,
everybody,
it's Oklahoma, it's Florida. It's Georgia. I mean, it's a wide South Dakota. It's a wide net. And I think anytime you're over a certain dollar amount, catching more than 3 or 4 states over, not including international players, you got yourself a major.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Wow. Well, I got to say one more time, I wanted to give a shout out to Sam DeJohn and his dad Nino, because of course those guys work so hard, and look at the
Oh,
results.
yeah.
You know, Sam is now 14. He's a pro, and he's making a showing this weekend. I just had to send that out there to those guys.
Yeah, that's on. Yeah. I'll let him know.
Okay,
Yeah,
I appreciate that. But so in the meantime, of course, you guys are going to be going to the big ceremony this weekend, which is the Texas Legends ceremony, happening very, very soon. And then
It actually just happened.
Oh, it just
I think
happened.
it just concluded.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it. Okay, so it's back to action on Inside Foos and Twitch TV, correct?
Yep, it's going to get back to it here pretty soon, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be
Oh.
sure to check you guys out. I wish I could be there with you, sitting there next to you. But there's plenty of time for that this year. Hopefully at Tornado Championships.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed there because that's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, no question. And of course, hopefully you can keep from injuring yourself before the Tornado Championships.
I'll do what I can. No promises.
Well, it seems like lately you've had the penchant for either getting sick or injuring yourself, one or the other.
Yeah, I think that just all falls apart when you hit 40, Tom.
Oh, come on now. I've got just a couple of days on you here, so try to make me feel a little bit better. But
Okay.
no, but Adam, I really appreciate you taking the time out from the weekend. I know it's a lot of work you guys are doing, and man, it's so nice to hang out.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. Thank you for everything you do, Tom. We all really appreciate it.
Well, it's I know this is a small thing this year, but we'll try and do something bigger in the future. And let's do the FoosTalk Live thing all together next weekend on Twitch TV. By the way,
I am looking forward to that.
Yes, ditto. But be good, safe travels, and put that leg up, man.
I definitely will.
All right, Adam. We'll talk to you soon.
All righty, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, man. And thanks for tuning into FoosTalk Live. We'll be back next week with a live edition, number 112 next week. You have been listening to coverage of the 2022 Texas State Championships. And of course, that is the Players' Championship. It's still underway until tomorrow. And best of luck to all the players. And thanks to Steve Murray for putting on a great tournament. We'll talk to you next week on FoosTalk Live. Foosball tournaments are everywhere. FoosTalk Live proudly presents a weekly update of events near you with the FoosTalk Live Tournament Beat. Here's what's up next weekend. East Coast foosball players present the Doubles Fun Foosball Tournament 3 doubles events. Sunday, June 5th at Yankee Lanes, 216 Maple Street, Manchester, New Hampshire. PDX Foosball announces the Home Turf Monster DYP, June 11th and 12th. Home Turf Sports Bar and Grill, 13,500 Southwest Pacific Highway, Tigard, Oregon. Here comes the 2022 Seattle Open, June 17th through 19th at Bolero, South Seattle, 100 Andover Park West, Seattle, Washington. It's the 2022 ITSF World Cup and World Championships, June 28th through July 2nd, Nantes, France. Don't miss the next 518 Foosball Smashdown, Saturday, July 9th. Trickshot Billiards and Wicked Eatery, Route 9, Clifton Park, New York. The South Florida Foosball Club proudly presents the 2022 Beachtown Beatdown, July 15th through the 17th in Lake Worth Beach, Florida. Don't forget the 2022 National Championship North American Cup, July 20th through July 24th. It's been moved to the Clarion Hotel and Conference Center, Lexington, Kentucky. Don't miss the $12,000 Mississippi State Foosball Championships, August 5th through the 7th. Holiday in Pearl, 110 Bass Pro Drive, Pearl, Mississippi. It's the first annual Ozark Open, Sunday, August 15th, 2588 North Gregg Street, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Just announced the 2022 Tornado Championships, August 31st through September 5th. The Clarion Hotel, 1950 Newtown Pike, Lexington, Kentucky. The 2022 $10,000 Michigan State Foosball Championships, sponsored by Foos Gadgets, September 30th through October 2nd at the Hilton Garden Inn, Lansing West, Lansing, Michigan. The South Florida Foosball Club is about to announce Thunderdome 2 for this October. Listen to this space for all the details. Each week, we do our best to give you the most up-to-date listing of foosball tournaments near you. If you have an event you would like to add, send us all the details at info@foosballradio.com. Tune in every week for the FoosTalk Live Foosball Beat. FoosTalk Live is a product of Inside Foos, all rights reserved. Brought to you in part by InsideFoos.com, Protectoflex, Rodlock, 518 Prince, Foosballers the Movie, the USTSO, and Foosball Clubs USA. Tune in again next week for another episode of FoosTalk Live. In the meantime,
we'll see you foozin'.